Stop for a second and look at the hidden life of the woman sleeping in your bed. Did you ever wonder why a woman who used to be terrified of losing you is now suddenly too tired for your touch, but has all the energy in the world for a 2 a.m. scrolling session? Be honest with yourself. You've seen that cold, dead look in her eyes when you walk into the room, like you're an uninvited guest in a life you're paying for. You're the victim of a mental replacement. While you're out there grinding, breaking your back to make sure the mortgage is paid and her future is secure, she's already used the good man safety you provided to build a bridge to someone else. You're paying for the makeup she wears for work meetings that don't exist, and you're funding the lifestyle that makes her look attractive to the losers she meets behind your back. You think your loyalty is a shield, but to a woman who has already checked out, your loyalty is just a free pass that lets her play games while you hold the bag. Today, we're exposing the 8 red flags that prove she's already halfway out the door. I'm going to show you how to spot the pre-cheating rot before you wake up in an empty house with a cleared-out bank account. If you don't watch this to the end, you're choosing to be the last person to know that your own relationship has become a crime scene. The most terrifying moment for a man isn't when she leaves. It's the months before, when she stays in your house, eats your food, and sleeps in your bed while her heart is already being shared with another man in a world you aren't allowed to see. Men, this channel is more than content. It's a brotherhood that exists for those who refuse to be controlled, distracted, or broken. My ex told me men today are too weak, too distracted, and too controlled to ever unite. I didn't argue. I decided to prove her wrong. Every man who subscribes is proof that discipline, self-respect, and strength still exist. If you stand for truth, self-control, and knowing your value as a real man, if you're here to sharpen your mindset and live with standards, subscribe and stay. Like this video and make your presence known in the comments. Let's see who's serious and is ready to prove doubters wrong, because after this video, you'll be reborn as a new man who has discovered himself and is ready to take back his manhood. Make sure to subscribe and stay ahead, because we are just getting started. We have to talk about the slow devaluation. You see, brothers, a woman doesn't just wake up and decide to cheat. It's a process. It's a series of small, calculated steps where she slowly takes the respect she had for you and flings it in the trash. The first red flag is the death of curiosity. Remember when you first met? She wanted to know everything about your day. She listened to your dreams. She was your biggest fan. But now, she doesn't ask how your work went. She doesn't care about your stress. When you talk, she's looking at her phone, nodding her head like a robot. You're the victim of a relationship ghosting while still living in the same house. She has stopped investing in you because she has already started investing her emotions in a new project. The second flag is the privacy fortress. This is the one that drives men crazy. Her phone used to be a tool for the family. Now it's a black box. If you walk into the room, she flips it over. If she gets a notification, she jumps like she's been shocked. If you ask, "Hey, who was that?" she gets angry. She calls you insecure or controlling. This is a classic move. She's using your own sense of being a good, trusting guy as a weapon against you. You want her to feel guilty for having common sense. You are paying the phone bill for the very device she's using to plot your replacement. It's a digital hijacking, and you're the one providing the fuel. Let's look at the story of a man named Steve. Steve was a hard-working mechanic, a man who believed in family and sweat. He was married to a woman named Brenda. Steve gave Brenda a life where she didn't have to work. He paid for her gym, her clothes, and her girls' trips. He thought his hard work was his insurance policy for a happy home. Steve was the loser in this story because he ignored the change in weather. Brenda started going to the gym at 8 p.m., the same time Steve would get home from the shop, tired and wanting to see her. She started wearing makeup to go for a run. When Steve asked why she was coming home 2 hours late, she told him he was too possessive and that she just needed to breathe. Steve felt bad. He bought her flowers to apologize for his insecurity. The truth was, Brenda was meeting a guy she met on a fitness app in the gym parking lot. She was using Steve's money for the gym membership and the gas in the car to go and give her attention to a man who didn't even have a job. When Steve finally found out, he was broken. He realized he had been the sponsor of his own heartbreak. He was the victim of a woman who saw his hard work as a way to fund her free time to find someone else. Steve failed because he didn't realize that when the respect stops, the cheating has already begun. The third red flag is the personality shift. Suddenly, she has new interests that don't include you. She's listening to new music, using new slang, or interested in topics she used to hate. Where did this come from? It came from the new source. She is mirroring the man she's actually interested in. You are watching her become a different person right in front of your eyes. She's not growing, she's rebranding herself for her next customer. You are the victim of an identity theft, where she is stealing the version of her you loved and giving it to someone else. The fourth flag is the reverse blame game. This is pure psychological warfare. She starts picking fights about things you did 3 years ago. She brings up old mistakes to make you feel like a bad husband. Why? Because she needs to feel like she's the victim so she can justify her upcoming betrayal. In her mind, if you're a bad guy, then her cheating is just finding happiness. It's a sick, twisted way to protect her own ego. You are the victim of a guilt trap. Putting her in her place starts with the cold withdrawal. You have to stop being the fixer. If she is being cold, don't buy her gifts. If she is being private, don't beg for her attention. You match her energy. You stop being the comfortable option. You have to show her that your provision and your presence are not natural resources like air and water. They are luxury items that can be removed at any time. A king doesn't wait for a traitor to strike. A king removes the traitor from his court the moment the atmosphere changes.
Brothers, we are stepping into the heart of the storm. We've already exposed how the privacy fortress and the death of curiosity are used to turn your own home into a battlefield. But now, it's time for the final extraction. You see, a woman who is preparing to betray you doesn't just change her mind. She changes her entire world to fit the man she's about to jump to. She begins to treat your life together like a rental property she's about to move out of. She stops caring about the maintenance because she's already looking at a new listing. To be a winner, you have to be the first one to hand over the eviction notice. You have to realize that when a woman starts polishing herself for the world while treating you like a piece of old furniture, the deal is already done. When the final red flags start flying, the most dangerous thing you can do is try to love her more. Most men, when they feel that coldness, start trying to buy her back. They do more chores, they give more compliments, they pay for more date nights. Stop. You are trying to put out a fire with gasoline. All you are doing is funding her transition period. You are the victim of a resource hijacking. By trying to save the relationship, you are actually just paying for the time she needs to make sure her new guy is ready to take her. Today, we are shutting down the safety net and building a kingdom that no traitor can inhabit. Men, this channel is more than content. It's a brotherhood that exists for those who refuse to be controlled, distracted, or broken. My ex told me men today are too weak, too distracted, and too controlled to ever unite. I didn't argue. I decided to prove her wrong. Every man who subscribes is proof that discipline, self-respect, and strength still exist. If you stand for truth, self-control, and knowing your value as a real man, if you're here to sharpen your mindset and live with standards, subscribe and stay. Like this video and make your presence known in the comments. Let's see who's serious and is ready to prove doubters wrong, because after this video, you will be reborn as a new man who has discovered himself and is ready to take back his manhood. Make sure to subscribe and stay ahead because we're just getting started. Let's look at the path of a man who mastered the sovereign exit. We'll call him Anthony. Anthony was a successful software engineer, a man who worked hard to give his wife Sarah a life of absolute comfort. He noticed red flag number 5, the sudden aesthetic overhaul. Sarah, who hadn't been to the gym in years, suddenly became obsessed with her fitness journey. She bought an entirely new wardrobe, clothes that were much tighter and more revealing than anything she wore for Anthony. She started wearing expensive perfume just to go to the grocery store at 7 p.m. Anthony was the winner in this story because he didn't argue. He didn't ask, "Who are you dressing up for?" Instead, he noticed red flag number 6, the social media purge. Sarah started archiving photos of them together on Instagram. She said she wanted a cleaner aesthetic, but Anthony knew the truth. She was making herself look single for the marketplace. Anthony didn't beg for her to keep his pictures up. He simply did the resource shutdown. He moved his direct deposit to a private account. He canceled the extra credit cards he had given her for emergencies, which she was using for girls' nights. Within 2 weeks, Sarah's new life started to fall apart. The guy she was talking to at the gym, a freelance photographer who didn't even have his own apartment, wasn't interested in a woman who couldn't pay for the dinners anymore. He wanted the fun version of Sarah that Anthony was subsidizing. When the money stopped, the romance died. Anthony served her divorce papers before she even had a chance to go on a first date with the other guy. Anthony won because he saw the red flags as exit signs. He didn't wait to be the victim of a physical affair. He left the moment he became the victim of a mental one. He reclaimed his peace because he knew his value was too high to be a backup plan.
You have to understand red flag number 7, the reverse accusation. This is the most manipulative move in the book. Out of nowhere, she will start accusing you of cheating. She will check your phone. She will ask why you're acting weird. This is called projection. She is trying to offload her guilt onto you. If she can make you look like the cheater, then she feels like her own betrayal is just revenge. You are the victim of a character assassination attempt. And finally, red flag number 8, the financial squirrel. She starts asking for her own money. She starts hiding receipts. She wants to make sure that when she jumps, she has a little pile of your cash to take with her. She is funding her escape using your hard work. This is the ultimate betrayal of the provider-protector contract. You take your power back by trusting your instincts. Your gut is the early warning system that God gave you. If the air in your house feels heavy, it's because there is a lie living there. Stop looking for hard proof like a detective. You are a man, not a policeman. If the respect is gone, the relationship is over. You don't need to see a text message to know that you are no longer the king of her heart. The winner's reclamation is about dropping the weight. If she is showing these flags, she is no longer an asset. She is a liability. And a smart businessman always cuts his liabilities before they bankrupt him. You are the prize. You are the one who builds the home, pays the bills, and provides the security. If she wants to see if the exciting guys on the street can do what you do, let her go find out, but make sure the door is locked behind her. This channel is for men who are done blaming themselves for other people's choices. If that's you, don't leave as a spectator. Subscribe and stay ahead, because we're just getting started. Support the message, speak in the comments, and stand with the men who choose clarity over confusion. You are being reforged. You now have the eyes to see the rot before it spreads. You are no longer the safe option for a woman who doesn't value you. You are the sovereign man. You own your time, you own your money, and you own your peace. So here is the smart question for the Brotherhood today.
If you disappeared tomorrow and took your bank account, your car, and your protection with you, would she be crying because she lost you, or would she be crying because she lost her lifestyle? I want to hear from the brothers in the comments. Which one of these 8 red flags did you see too late? How did you feel when you finally realized that the good man routine was only helping her hide her betrayal? Share your story below. Your words are the shield for the man who is currently lying in bed with a woman who is texting his replacement. Let's get the engagement up. Let's show the world that the mule has finally woken up. This channel is for men who are done blaming themselves for other people's choices. If that's you, don't leave as a spectator. Subscribe and stay ahead, because we're just getting started. Support the message, speak in the comments, and stand with the men who choose clarity over confusion. I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay cold, stay in your power.